Okay, great. Well, first of all, I wanted to really say that I'm very excited for the IFD, and I think you're really the best hope for Germany. I think some things that something I think that is just very important is that people take pride in Germany and being German. This is very important. It's okay to be proud to be German. This is a very important principle, and it's okay. It's good to be proud of German culture, German values, and not to lose that in some sort of multiculturalism that dilutes everything.
Fresh off his historic victory with President Trump, ultra-billionaire and tech visionary Elon Musk is turning his attention to Europe, and most particularly the nation of Germany. Now, if you don't know, Germany's left-wing government collapsed some weeks back, forcing new national elections scheduled in just a couple of weeks in February. And the political party that all eyes are on right now is the new rising patriot party known as the AfD, or the Alternative for Deutschland, led by Alice Weidel. The AfD is a very new political party. They only broke into the German parliament back in 2017 with about 13% of the vote. That was the first time they ever broke through in national elections. And so they're a very young party, but they're clearly offering an alternative to the mainstream center-right and center-left globalist regime that dominates Berlin. And they're growing like wildfire. Today, they are the second most popular party in all of Germany, and they are the most popular party in Eastern Germany. And they've got a new fan.
I think we want to have unique cultures in the world. We want to have people that have, we don't want everything to be the same everywhere, where it's just one big sort of soup. We want to have something where it's, you go to different countries and you experience a different culture, and it is unique and special and good. And that the German government takes actions to protect its citizens and make sure that it seeks the health and well-being of the German people.
Now, Elon clearly appears to recognize that the world is going through a profound restructuring known as re-territorialization, where our politics is becoming radically localized. So this is the key dynamic that's remaking the geopolitical map all over the world, re-territorialization. And the gist of it is basically globalist structures like the EU or the IMF or the World Bank or the WTO, they collectivize and centralize powers in the hands of a small minority of managerial elite. And so globalism, by its nature, disembeds, it dislodges political decision-making out of the hands of the local and recalibrates in the hands of a centralized managerial elite. The problem here is that as these globalist structures have begun to wane, in that most scholars today believe that globalism has basically reached its limits and is now receding, as these globalist structures lose their political power, that power then gets redispersed among the various populations around the globe. So more and more populations are reasserting their political sovereignty as globalist structures increasingly fade onto the ash heap of history. This is the gist of re-territorialization. As transnational institutions lose their political power, nationalist institutions rise up to fill the vacuum. And then the irony that comes to the surface here is that, as it turns out, it's the nationalist governments that are actually the protectors and promoters of multiculturalism, not the globalists. Globalists can run around all day long and claim that they're the true multiculturalists, but in the end, globalists envision a one-size-fits-all cosmopolitanism that ends up erasing cultural difference. I remember experiencing it myself on one of my first trips to Japan. I was traveling alone in downtown Tokyo, and I wanted to get something to eat. My Japanese was not very good at the time. It still isn't. Watashi no nihongo wa dame, for those of you who are, it's no good. But I could get along when I'm there nowadays. But back then I couldn't. But it's better, So at that time, I went into a McDonald's. Now, keep in mind, I could have gone into any other fast food places that I know and love. We all know and love. They're all there, prominently displayed in downtown Tokyo, right? Burger King, Kentucky Fried Chicken, you name it. But I went into a McDonald's. And there I am in downtown Tokyo in a McDonald's eating a Big Mac, sipping a Coca-Cola, and I kid you not, I'm looking out the window and staring at a Leonardo DiCaprio billboard advertisement across the street. I mean, seriously, I could have been in any American city to experience that, but no, I was in Tokyo. And this is the central concern that so many populations have with globalism. When all is said and done, it doesn't dilute culture. It doesn't mix cultures. It actually replaces them with a highly American consumerist culture. It's been called the Orlandoization of the world. And that Orlandoization is contributing to more and more populations deliberately re-territorializing so as to protect their unique identity in their culture, customs, and traditions.
So, I think there's frankly too much of a focus on past guilt, and we need to move beyond that. Children should not be guilty of the sins of their parents, or even let alone their parents, their great grandparents, maybe even. And we should be optimistic and excited about a future for Germany. And that's really my message: is be optimistic, excited, and preserve German culture and protect the German people. And and there's some other things that I think would be very helpful too, which is I think you want more self-determination for Germany and for the countries in Europe, and less from Brussels. That's my opinion. I think there's too much bureaucracy from Brussels, too much control from sort of global elite. And, when I've given talks at these sort of global government conferences, what I've said is there should be less global government. There should be more determination by individual countries. So I very much hope that the AfD does well, and that Alice Beadle does become chancellor. I think that would be very good for Germany, and I think it's very important. I hope that German people unite and strongly support AfD.
Hey gang, given all of the insanity that's happened over the last 4 years, the patriots over at the Wellness Company want to make sure that you're prepared for whatever woke progressives have left to throw your way. For example, just weeks before President Trump's inauguration, California Governor Gavin Newsom, that's right, Newscum, declared a bird flu state of emergency, granting himself sweeping powers reminiscent of COVID-19 policies. Now, this comes after a severe case of H5N1 bird flu was reported in Louisiana. Critics like Nicholas Holscher warn that pandemic fears may be weaponized to challenge Trump's agenda, including the nomination of RFK Jr. to head the HHS. Is this a health crisis, or is this a power play? Well, last summer, Dr. Peter McCullough warned about the bird flu, linking the virus's rapid spread to gain-of-function research, now a common practice at many labs globally. Dr. McCullough urges early prevention just in case, recommending a contagion emergency kit from the Wellness Company, his medical board-approved solution with 5 critical life-saving medications. So we're talking ivermectin, Tamiflu, a nebulizer, and of course hydroxychloroquine. Every household can now have access to these hard-to-get medications in the event of another pandemic. Get yours by filling out a digital intake form, and your kit arrives in 1 to 2 weeks. Don't wait until the deep state puts their plans into action, gang. Stay ready for the unexpected. Click on that link below right now. Now, needless to say, the leftist media is losing their minds over Elon telling Germans not to allow themselves to be bullied by globalists for past sins. This is very key. We see this happening in Japan as well, I might add. My wife is Japanese, and the geopolitical ethos in the Pacific is one that constantly tries to politically one-up Japan by invoking World War II and their sins of World War. China does this all the time. South Korea loves to do this. They weaponize the past so as to politically benefit in the present. They weaponize the past so as to politically benefit in the present. And that's precisely what the liberal powers that be have done, most particularly to Germany. Germany is the number one economy in Europe. And that productivity and ingenuity is kept in line, as it were, by the bullies in Brussels, constantly using Germany's past as a battering ram to keep them from voting in populist parties, reasserting their national sovereignty, like the AfD. And the powers that be have been very successful in, stifling the AfD over the last several years. I mean, they're even going so far as attempting to ban the AfD from politics, all in the name of protecting democracy, of course. I mean, you literally can't make this stuff up. And it's not just the AfD, by the way. It's us in the States. Things are so bad for the bullies in Brussels that the EU is actually threatening now to limit American speech inside Europe, claiming that American social media posts are a form of foreign interference and illegal content. Those are the EU's words: foreign interference and illegal content. And I've seen this firsthand. I've seen a number of my YouTube videos banned, particularly in Germany, for example, France as well. And again, keep in mind, these globalists are doing this in order to, quote, save democracy, right? Save democracy from disinformation. But as it turns out, disinformation really is nothing more than anything that goes against the globalist narrative, which is itself the epitome of disinformation. You see, the globalist narrative rests on an irresolvable contradiction. It centers on two mutually exclusive claims. So one, globalism says that it has made you more free than any other political economic system in history. And two, globalism is inevitable. Globalism will inevitably take over the world. There's no viable alternative to globalism. Globalism makes you free and you have no choice. So which is it, right? Am I free, or is globalism inevitable regardless if I want it or not? And from that contradiction flows every single globalist narrative that consistently disparages culture, custom, and tradition, all the while lauding and praising technocratic expertise and a rule by a tiny minority of managerial elites. And the people have had it. More and more people have just had it. They want to both return to nation, culture, custom, and tradition, and they want a bright and innovative future. And that is precisely what Elon Musk is offering to Europeans. You know, another European a few decades ago, the French theorist Guillaume Faye, he called this archaeofuturism. He saw this dynamic as inevitable, and this is what the future was going to look like. It's an archaeofuture, or an archaeomodernity. The notion here is that a post-globalist world will bring together the resurgence of ancient civilization with modern technology. So, something kind of akin to Star Wars, if you think about it, right? Which depicts a universe in highly religious, mystical terms, right? But also amazingly technological. So this is what Elon Musk is advocating. This is what he's calling, this is what he's calling Europe to make Europe great again. A glorious future where you can have both your ancient traditions that define your identity and future technological innovation that comfort that identity and provide opportunities, economic and career opportunities for that identity. That was basically the heart of, if you think it through, President Trump's inaugural speech. He promised to return to a far more conservative vision of life, while at the same time solidifying our place as the innovative and industrial superpower of the world, even colonizing Mars, right? With Elon going, "Ah, that's awesome." And that's, of course, what Elon is inviting Europe to participate in, a world where Europe is made great again, both culturally and innovatively. An optimistic future that we can all together hope for. I want to personally invite each and every one of you to an incredible live event that you won't want to miss, the America's Golden Age Summit, where they explore how America is entering a new golden age filled with opportunities to thrive like never before. During this powerful 90-minute online event, my special guest and I will reveal some secrets for how you and your family can prosper in this new, exciting era. From financial strategies to building a legacy rooted in freedom and faith, this summit is designed to help you succeed. Spaces are limited, so don't wait. Register now and secure your online spot today. I can't wait to see you there.